Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to the Fantasy Forecast for, what is today? Monday, April 18th, 2016. Alright, so we don't have Roto Grinders again. We've got Roto Wire for you in front of us. Roto Wire at the point guard has Lowry and Felton today. At the shot guard, they have Harden and Harris. At the small forward, they have Durant and Iguodala. At the power forward, they have Green and Spietz. And center, they have Howard. I'll project those for you. They're projecting Lowry at 38 and Felton at 26. Excuse me. They're projecting Harden at 46 and Devin Harris at 21. They're projecting KD at 43 and they're projecting Iguodala at 19. They're projecting Draymond at 39 and Spietz at 17. And they're projecting Howard at 35. Total projection on this is 281, and that's Roto Wire, guys. I don't have Roto Grinder because apparently they're not doing it for these 3 or 4 game slates or whatever, so I can't do much. I was able to get a second Roto QL app today, but that's also because they had Curry in here, and I didn't really want you guys to be depending on Curry tonight because I wouldn't be depending on him playing tonight. Curry is so darned important to... It's a real question mark. They're not going to let you know before game lock. They're not going to want Houston to even know. If I had to suspect, I suspect Curry's going to play. He needs... Well, not that he needs to play, really, in particular. He just doesn't. I mean, Sean Livingston could take over, but Sean Livingston left practice yesterday and was sick and feeling good, and so Curry might be like... They might be in the position of like, well, the normal backup kind of doesn't feel that good, and Curry wants to play, and maybe his ankle's not that tweaked, but you got to worry when you're the Golden State. Curry's the guy he's the league MVP. He's the guy that got you there. So I worry about selecting him tonight, just because I think they should sit him. I don't know if they will, but I think they should, and that's just me speaking. Anyways, moving on. We've got Curry and Patrick Beverley in the point guard positions, Hill and Harden in the shot guard, Miles and KD at the small forward, Nowitzki and Capella at power forward, and Enes Kanter for center. The projections: 53 points for Curry, 32 points for Beverley, 31 points for Hill, 51 points for Harden, so 51-31. KD's 48 and Miles is 23. Nowitzki's projecting at 29. Capela's projecting at 20. And Kanter's projecting at 31. Remember, this is based off the last games, and so I tell you guys to be careful with these always whenever you look at them. Their bonus one that doesn't include Curry, they didn't really spend the money as effectively, but on a short 3-game slate, sometimes that can pay off. They basically just swapped him out for Westbrook when you look at it. I mean, there's no other change there, because you got Beverly, you got Harden, you got Hill, you got Durant, you got Miles, you got Nowitzki, you got Capella, you got Kanter. They didn't change a darn thing, but based on all their projections. And since they just knocked the projection down, a little bit, you can already basically see. The first one projected at 316.5, and this projects at 311. So they're projecting, Westbrook 5.5 points lower than Curry, or basically a 47 tonight. I don't think Westbrook's a 47er tonight. I think he's bigger than KD tonight, or than Curry tonight. But because I don't know if Curry plays. That's just me. Okay. Let's go to Fantasy Pros. Today, Fantasy Pros has Westbrook and Beverly in the point guard positions. Westbrook and Hill, sorry. Westbrook projecting at 49, Hill projecting at 24. Harden and Powell in the shot guard. Harden's projecting at 48, Powell's projecting at 22. We got KD and Iguodala at small forward. KD's projecting at 46, Iguodala's projecting at 19. We got Draymond Green and Scola. Scola's projecting at 17, Draymond's projecting at 39, and then Pachulia for center, and he's projecting at 23, which is a decent value. The whole lineup projects at 286. Pretty good Fantasy Pros if it works. And I have a daily fantasy cafe here too. They gave us one for today, which was pretty sweet. I was stoked on that. And why do I not show the entries somewhere? Probably because I just don't have it done yet. So let's go ahead and make it. Sorry guys, we're going to do it on the fly to give you what they want. They want Westbrook and Lowry. And you can see already how I'm modifying my own lineup off of what they want. They want Wesley Matthews and DeRozan. They think DeRozan's going to come back tonight. DeRozan had a bad game and Lowry had a bad game. If they come back, then and they do better. But if the Pacers have that crushing defense they have again, this will be another bad move. I mean, you're basically playing on the bounce back, which is a fine thing to do. I mean, it certainly can win you some damn fantasy games. I'll tell you that much for sure. People don't put enough faith in things coming back and working the way they can work. And anyways, at small forward we have Paul George and who I already have and Harrison Barnes. So I'll switch out Justin Anderson for Harrison Barnes. At the power forward they have Nowitzki and they've got Patrick Patterson. Okay, Nowitzki's an easy up. Patterson will take it down quite a bit. And that's not going to leave much for Pass Howard, though, so you're going down to where? They want Zaza too instead of Biombo. Okay, and save. And this is Daily Fantasy Cafe right here. Sorry, I guess I missed getting them in. This is the problem with trying to do these lineups really fast, guys. It was projected at 294 points. I'll give you the individual projections. Westbrook at 51, Lowry at 43, DeRozan at 38, Matthews at 23, George at 45, Barnes at 23, Nowitzki at 32, Patterson at 18, and Zaza at 22. All right, and then now let's go on to my own recommended cash lineup for today. And it's staring you in the face, guys. I want you to take Westbrook and Felton at the point guard positions. Dallas is hurting now. They're going to have to run Felton the whole time. He's going to be their main point guard. He's underpriced at 38 minutes. Just same thing with Devin Harris, who's going to pick up some extra minutes. And if they figure out why they lost so bad, they're going to put Justin Anderson back in. He's the one that helped them win 6 straight games and get in the playoffs. And he plays well when he's getting his time. I'm banking Dallas figures it out. Maybe Cuban has looked at some film and, okay, Justin Anderson is coming back. So I expect to see another 8 to 10 minutes from him tonight, just out of the blue, guys, which is a good run at 3,800. It's close to minimum, especially with Devin Harris. It allows a lot more of this big salary stuff to fit. Harden must have had just the worst night ever. Maybe he had stomach flu, but, he generally has the floor that's crazy, and he had a bad game, so maybe he puts out a good one after his bad game. I don't expect him to put out 2 bad games in a row. I've never seen it from this guy the way he's played all season, and so Golden State would have to smother him for that to happen. If it did, it'll even drop even off him more, but I mean, it's pricey. Actually, it might have dropped, actually. I'm not sure if 10-3 was higher or lower than it was last time. Someone will have to comment, let me know. But anyways, I got Harden and Harris. You could fade off a Harden thinking he burned everyone last time. I'm not willing to fade him still. I still like him in a faster-paced, higher-scoring game. I want to kind of avoid that Toronto in the Pacer game. That's the slow game, really. I mean, everyone else from everywhere else, those games are faster, and it's only a 3-game slate. So if you're taking guys from that other game there, which you might want 1 or 2 of them, make sure they're going to get you your points. Moving on to that exact subject, we got Paul George, who's on the Pacers and is the center, the focal point. They couldn't be stopped. DeRozan was on him, guarding him last time, and just died doing it. It was horrible. I expect there might be a change there tonight, but if DeRozan's guarding him again and he doesn't step up his game, Paul George is going to eat him up alive again. I got Ibaka in there because with the run, you can see that Oklahoma just relies on him they rely on him just as much as they do Westy and Durant, and yet he's priced near half the price. He pulls fantasy performances that are around the same numbers that they'll get some nights, and he's half the price. I'm starting to think he is almost the must run, and do you take Westy or Durant? For me tonight, I'll take Westy. I didn't have the money to go up to Curry. I could have if I traded out Miles Turner for Capella, but Miles Turner's going to turn in a good night tonight and try to do something for the Pacers once, I'm thinking. That'd be my one place I'd stay away from, but I do expect a little bit of safety out of it. I expect you're going to get at least 25 fantasy points from him, and minutes, and that's important. I mean, can see it in the last game. Minutes are always important when you go into these things. 26 minutes in the playoffs in the game and 25 fantasy points, exactly what you're going to expect. I expect something very similar, but hopefully he'll go off and do a bit better. And after that, I mean, who else could you pull that would be like give you all the minutes you want? Do you see much, guys? Really? Patrick Patterson, possibly. I believe he's getting almost a full run of minutes, which is kind of surprising at that price. 28 minutes. Well, it was only 18 points he paid, but it's still a 28-minute run, and he generally, that's what he does, 20, 29 minutes. I expect, though, that you're going to get the same 29 minutes, though, out of Turner tonight. I just feel it, and so there you go. You leave the hot hand in, he's going to be hot. And then you're going to finish off with Howard tonight at your center. And, yeah, it wasn't so good last time, but in general, the fantasy performances are good. It's a faster game. It's not... I don't think he's going to do 27.7 again. I believe there's always variance. I think he's on the low end tonight, so you're looking at a high-end performance. On the high end, 33, 34, 35 points is a great value at 6,800, and he's my center. And this is for a cash game as usual, guys. Always remember, cash games, 50-50 entries, things like that, makes it a heck of a lot smarter. On the side note, Monty's getting to start tonight instead of... I don't know if it matters so much over one of these other guys down here minimum, so he might see a couple extra minutes. You could look at Monty Junius as a punt because if he started out hot, he'd get a few extra minutes too. But that's where they talk to you about tournament plays only. Okay, there's your ideal cash lineup for today. Point guard, Westbrook and Felton. Shot guard, Harden and Harris. Small forward, George and Anderson. Power forward, Ibaka and Turner. And at center, Howard. All right, guys, I hope you guys all won yesterday. The cash lines did pay. It did not pay GPP. I know GPP paying has been standard a lot of times lately on my optimals. That's not to be expected. That's a bonus. These are meant to be 50-50, single entry, win your cash line at the lowest possible entry lines. That's what the optimal lineups are for. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Have out there and win some money. Have a wonderful day.